Hey guys, Thinking here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to be doing the team building guide for the TEQ LR Full Power Jiren, coming out very soon on Global alongside the Team Universe 7 and the Golden Frieza and 17. Both the guides for those ones are up already, so do go check those out as well. He has a typical 10-stage LR EZA. There's no page for it on the wiki, but you know the drill at this point, right? It's 10 stages. Beat each stage gives you 3 stones. There's a mission to beat stage 7 for 3 stones, so 33 stones in total. And by beating all 10 stages, you get the medals you need to EZA him. You get 5 tech guys to get him up to SA 25. And you get some tech orbs as well. So it's an LR EZA, which means legendary power is the name of the game. As many LRs on the team as possible so we can do extra damage. You can beat these LR EZAs without having LRs. It just takes longer because you don't do the bonus damage. And then of course the bonus category, so that your characters take less damage, is Miraculous Awakening. So this one has the potential to be very, very easy. Miraculous Awakening is a category that has some very strong units on it, including, of course, this guy right here. So for my team building guides, as always, top picks and honorable mentions will be discussed for making the best possible team for beating this EZA as quickly and easily as possible. If there's any units that I miss out or you think I should have talked more about, do let me know down below in the comment section. And if you find the guide helpful at all, do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and let's go ahead and jump straight in. So it's funny with new LR EZAs now, any LR EZA that comes out, it is very possible to just use Beast Gohan, because he is that good that even without being on the right categories, he's still able to be pretty good defensively and of course be very good offensively. But here, this is a category that he not only is on, but that he actually leads. So double Beast Gohan can obviously make a pretty big dent in this battle. This one could probably be the easiest of the 3, just because you can use double Beast Gohan with his actual leader skill, and then potentially just fly through the stages. Obviously, if you didn't pull Beast Gohan, we are going to discuss some other options, but Beast Gohan is probably going to be your best bet for the friend leader, even if the rest of your team is Miraculous Awakening characters who aren't on Entrusted Will or Movie Heroes, so then aren't getting the 200% from him. The rest of the team only getting the 170 is just made up for by having Beast Gohan on the team, because he's just that good. So obviously the go-to leader or go-to inclusion on the team if you do happen to use another leader for some other reason. I guess it depends once you've picked all the units you want to put on your team. If a different leader is giving them the full 200% or more units the full 200%, and then you can throw Beast on there anyway. So he doesn't have to be the leader, but obviously he's going to be very, very good. And of course you can have a very good partner for him with the physical Ultima Gohan. This guy has guard for the first couple of turns, so in an EZA his guard pretty much is never going to run out, so he's not going to be a liability. And next to Beast Gohan, they have basically all their links but one active, so it's very, very easy to get lots of damage off with this guy. Beast Gohan getting hit first gives this guy extra ki, which fixes one of his major issues with his kit, so he's very, very good when run next to Beast Gohan. So these two together as a rotation will be very, very good in this Extreme Z battle. Next up we have AGL UI Goku. Obviously got his EZA recently. He leads Miraculous Awakening for 3 ki and 180%. So this is what I was saying about leader skills, right? Like if you have a team where you were going to use Beast, but none of the other units actually get his 200% lead, then this guy's giving 180% to the team, which could potentially work out better for you overall. But AGL UI Goku is fantastic. He's going to be a unit that I think is going to be, going forward, a staple in a lot of these LR EZAs, because even if he's not on the right category, he has guaranteed dodge on the first turn. So if you're running him on the team, you can't get hit on the first turn, and then as long as legendary power is active, like, he's going to be able to do a very decent amount of damage. And then of course even on the next turn he has that dodge chance. But of course here he is on the category, he is a good leader for the category, he's definitely a very, very good option on the team. And then of course we have the new UI Goku. So whilst he does not lead Miraculous Awakening, he is on it. Universe, Survival Saga, Realm of Gods or Entrusted Will is his categories. So there are a lot of units that he gives the 170 leader skill to. I believe Beast Gohan is he on Entrusted Will? No, I don't. Is he actually on? Yeah, he is. He's on Entrusted Will. So he's on the 170 team for TEQ UI Goku. But TEQ UI Goku, of course, a very, very good unit. Now, with Easy A's, you can't use same name units. So if you didn't pull the TEQ UI, you don't need to worry. We have other UI Gokus who will be very strong on the team. But if you did pull him, obviously you can only use one of the UI Gokus. This guy is very, very good, but remember that he won't transform until turn 5. So in an Easy A, you're probably never going to see him actually transform. So in some instances, whilst this might sound crazy to say, the STR UI Goku might actually be better because he builds up early on. If he dodges a bunch of attacks in slot 1 on the first turn, and is linked up with the AGL UI Goku, he has the potential to be a better choice depending on how your summons went for TEQ UI. Because for me, for example, TEQ UI Goku is only 55%, whereas this guy is Rainbow. So realistically, if I can only run one of them, since we're not running a longer event and TEQ UI isn't going to get to transform, this guy probably is actually better for these LR Easy A's just because of those levels of dupe investment, right? Like if I had TEQ UI rainbowed as well, then potentially he would be the better option. But TEQ UI at 55% compared to this guy at Rainbow with his Easy A, I would probably run this guy instead. Because bear in mind, you can only run one of the two of these guys, right? And then next up, we saw him there, is the Blue Evolution Vegeta. He's, of course, very, very good with his Easy A. He has type advantage over Jiren as well. So he will just be an absolutely fantastic, definitely a go-to unit for this battle. He builds up damage reduction within the turn as he gets hit, but with the damage reduction he starts with and the type disadvantage, you shouldn't have to worry too much about him taking a lot of damage. He also has the revival that is a really easy one to build up just by getting hit a few times. So if that was to come into play, his revival is quite easy to get. So Blue Evolution Vegeta is definitely a top pick for this team. You could use him as a leader, considering how many Miraculous Awakening characters are on Reps of Universe 7 All Powerful Comeback. And of course he has the 180 team. I suppose you'd only really do that if you didn't have AGL UI, because if you do, you just run him because he's literally giving Miraculous Awakening 180, right? And you don't have to worry about filtering your team building. But he is an absolute must-run character on the team. If you have him, he will be very, very good. Then we have Int God Goku. Now, this guy leads Pure Saiyans or Hybrid Saiyans, so you could make a team out of his leader skill. Now, there is the physical one, who of course has a better leader skill because it's Pure Saiyans or Hybrid Saiyans for 170 and has the plus 30% categories. But of course, he is only a TUR, so that's one less character to activate legendary power, and you can only run one of them. But if you're running a different leader already and you're just running a generic like Miraculous Awakening lead, I would probably run this guy over the physical TUR just because he is an LR and he has type advantage. Like, he will be a decent slot filler on this team. He's probably more of an honourable mention than a top pick, although he can make a good backup leader if you need to. But in terms of the leader skill, I would say then you'd want to run the physical one instead, just because his leader skill is a lot better, and some of the characters like the Gohan LRs are on Exploding Rage, so they would get the full 200% from this God Goku. So if you're running a different leader, this guy's probably the better pick to be on the team, just because it's another LR and he has type advantage. But if you need a leader, this guy would be the better choice because the leader skill is much better. So then we have AGL LR Broly. Now, I don't mention type disadvantage characters a lot in these team building guides, but obviously this guy has guard and he just throws out so many attacks and has the potential to do so much damage that he could still be very, very useful on the team. He fits under Beast Gohan's leader skill. He shares a few links with him, so he certainly can be a solid choice for the run, even though he is an AGL character. The only downside, of course, is you're probably not going to get his transformation because it's turn 5, but then the rest of the team is largely going to be superclass characters. You're fighting a superclass boss, so realistically his domain isn't that useful anyway. The transformation obviously makes him a lot better, but the domain is not really particularly useful. But you're not going to see it in this event most likely anyway, which is not the end of the world. I think he's probably more of an honourable mention just because he will be in that base like Super Saiyan form for pretty much the whole fight, but he can definitely still be a very, very good option. Then we have an old school pick here, the Super Saiyan Goku from the Namek Worldwide Celebration. He's obviously outdated now when it comes to actual really difficult content, but he's another int LR. If he's in slot 2 or 3, he gets a guaranteed, well, he gets a chance to do an additional super. He gets a guaranteed additional super if he's getting hit in slot 1, but even with easy A's not being super difficult compared to the end game content, you probably don't want to put him in slot 1 too much. He's the kind of character that you could throw on the team as the 6th choice if you weren't sure who else to bring, have him floating, and then in slot 3 he has that potential to get the extra attack, and he's just another LR there, another body to provide legendary power with type advantage, and he could still be pretty decent. I can't wait for his easy A, like both him and the full power Frieza, but this guy's easy A has the potential to be incredible, and especially considering one of my favorite teams in the game at the moment is the TEQ Saiyan Day Vegeta Super Saiyans team. This guy would of course be on there and be another character whose name includes Goku to give Vegeta the chance to do those extra supers. So I really can't wait for this guy's easy A, but even without it he can be a decent option for the team. We also have the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, another very old unit, but he's another character. He has type advantage. You could get a bunch of orbs and he could do a decent bit of damage. He's not really that great, but he's an honorable mention more so than anything else. Then we have the LR Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. His leader skill definitely not the best for this setup, but he is a solid unit. He has type advantage. You can take advantage of his kit properly in this kind of event where he can go in slot 1, and because he has type advantage and the event isn't super hard, he's not going to get absolutely obliterated like he does in some of the more difficult content now. So he can certainly be very, very good. You're potentially not ever going to see full power Goku, because even if you get hit 4 times on turn 1, you're then going to stand by into Oob on turn 3, and then you wouldn't see full power Goku until turn 5. But he's definitely still a very good option for the team, especially because we can also run on Miraculous Awakening this guy, so you could run them together. Of course, that means, though, no legendary power, but it means you could have a character in slot 1, like if you're running double Beast, you could have Beast in slot 1, this guy in slot 2, and then this guy in slot 3 for all the links with him, and then this guy would hit really, really hard, because even though he's meant to be in slot 1 in this kind of event where it's not as hard and he has type advantage, you don't necessarily need to keep him in slot 1, and he could certainly still be quite good. And then this guy, I mean, as I've already said, right, you can do LR Easy A's with TURs on the team, it just goes a little bit slower, but linked up with the Int Goku, this guy can obviously hit quite hard as well. Then we have the Int Super Saiyan 2 Kale. I thought I'd give her an honorable mention here just because she is a Universe Survival Saga support unit, and we've mentioned a lot of Universe Survival Saga characters. She has type advantage, so she's a character you could throw on the team just to use a 3rd slot floating unit, and then your rotations of Universe Survival Saga LRs have their legendary power link active, and then they're getting support from this Kale. It's also the same reason why I put the free-to-play UI Goku here as an honorable mention. But the problem is, of course, he shares the name with the TEQ and the STR. So, I mean, if you're very unlucky and you don't have the STR one or the TEQ one at all, then this guy can be good to be a support unit on the team. But I think most people out there at this point, unless you are a newer player, you're probably going to have the STR UI Goku, right? Even if you didn't pull the TEQ one. So you wouldn't be able to run this guy on the team anyway, and the STR one is certainly a much better pick than him. But last but not least, as a TUR, I thought I would mention this Gohan. You couldn't run him and the Int LR because of the same name, but the Int LR Gohan's not really that good anyway. If you're going to have your rotations of LRs and then have a floating support, this guy supports AGL, TEQ, and Physical. So we mentioned like AGL UI Goku, TEQ UI Goku, Physical, Beast Gohan, or Ultimate Gohan, Beastless Gohan, Least Gohan, whichever you prefer. He would be supporting all of them in slot 3. He stacks defense. I mean, in the later stages, he could get caught by a super in slot 3, but otherwise he would be a very solid support unit for the team. So going back to Miraculous Awakening, I guess the AGL Gohan, like he has guard, but it's HP conditional, and he's got type disadvantage, so if you're ever losing out on the guard, he could take a big bit of damage. I guess there is the TEQ Super Saiyan 2 Gohan as well, but he's very outdated at this point. You could throw him on the team as another LR. I think I would probably run the Int one instead though, as you could only run one if I had the choice between the two. but he is obviously an option. You could run Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, actually, with LR full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. If you didn't want to run this guy and have like a TUR, making it so that Goku's not getting legendary power because you want to put him in slot 1, you could run the LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta with him. And whilst he's not super good, obviously you're getting that legendary power link active. Sword of Hope Trunks, I probably should have given him an honourable mention, but he's a unit that sells way too much for my liking. But he would probably be very good in this event, right? Because it's not as easy to get clapped by these EZA bosses, so he could be pretty decent. The tech transforming Trunks it's not really an event long enough for him to be stacking, so not super good. In terms of int TURs, I mean, you've got another UI Goku, but that's another name conflicting unit, so probably wouldn't bother about considering him. Namek Goku, I guess if you don't have any other base Gokus taking up that name slot, he could be okay on the team, but a bit outdated at this point, but still could be okay. And then of course the physical Broly just has the same name as the AGL one, so I probably wouldn't run this guy anyway, even if you weren't running the AGL one. But there are a few LRs that are very, very good. Obviously, this is the time for Beast Gohan to shine, but even if you don't have him, the Universe 6 EZAs like absolutely will dominate this event. So they will be a very, very strong build for this team for Jiren. So that is going to be it, guys. Let me know what you think. As I said at the beginning, if there's any units that you think I should have talked more about or that I missed out completely and why they would be good on the team, do let us know down below in the comment section. And of course, let me know what your team build is going to look like for the TEQ Jiren Extreme Z battle. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out all the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.